Good morning, Barsha. Let others to join and we'll start the session. Good morning, Asta. Welcome to the class. Fine. So, without any delay, let's start the session. Those who are willing to join, they would be joining. So, we are supposed to start the functions of management today. So, we would be starting from the foremost function, that is planning. So, we have seen different authors who have given different processes of your management or different functions of the management. Henry Fayol has given his POC3, Newman and Summer has given POLC. So there are different authors with the different steps. But in general, what is planning, coordinating, and also all these functions we are going to study, right? So if I have to explain what do you mean by planning, now you need to remember the foremost step or foremost function from where actually the management is supposed, like management comes in, is starting, or management process start is your planning. Now actually the management is not in action in planning, but it is pre-deciding what course of action you would be taking. So planning is what? Planning is nothing but deciding in advance the future course of action. This is what you need to be very clear about the planning. Planning is something which is considered to be future oriented. Why future oriented? Because we are planning, we are talking about future, what you are going to do in future. So it is considered to be future oriented. And planning is objective oriented or goal oriented. Why? Because planning is done in order to achieve the objective goals of the organization. So if I have to simply define what do you mean by planning, planning is considered to be a primary function of a management, right? And this is nothing but deciding in advance what would be the future goals of future actions that I am going to take in order to achieve the organizational goals. Is this clear, students? Now, what you do in planning? What you do in planning? Planning may you define that what you want to achieve, right? What you are trying to achieve in the future. Now, this planning actually comprise of two main things. This first is your planning, deciding the goals. Also it includes the decision of objective. Now, this plan, goals, objective, this sequence is what you need to know. What is the correct sequence? What comes first? When you plan, you decide the goals, you decide the objective. What are the goals? Goals are desired outcome of the business which I am looking for. What are the objective? Objectives are something which are very precise, which are measured actions, which have a time limit to get completed. Now, these objectives actually, which are clearly defined, which are measurable, which have the limitation of the time, helps to achieve the goals. So higher is upper hierarchy. If I talk about hierarchy, goal is higher level, objective is below it. Clear? Is this clear? Now, goals can be repeated over the time. Objectives are specific for particular period of the time, and it is you can say single use, or it can be changed. So precise, measured action, time specific, single. Goals are desired outcome of the business. They can be repeated. Example, you all right now are having a goal of qualifying NTA NET exam for HRM. This is your ultimate goal, or rather I would say through this NTA, either you want to do PhD, either you want to go into PSU, either you want to go for assistant professor. This is your ultimate goal. In order to achieve either of this goal, the first objective of yours can be like clearing this exam, because ultimately after clearing this exam only you will achieve your goal. So objective is clearing the exam. So now, right now, currently in the given period of the time, your objective is to clear this re-exam which is being conducted. So right now your objective is to clearly go for 2024 exam June and clear it. In case you don't get right marks or you don't get satisfactory mark, you will go for December 2024. Now here your goal remains same, it is repeated, but your objective now here becomes to clear December 2024. How these two are different? In June you were studying for the first time, you had different plans, you had different schedule, you had different material. Now with the experience you will change your objective. Now you will focus on more revision, more MCQs. So your objectives are changing, but ultimately this objective helps you to achieve the goals. Am I clear to everyone? Why goal is at the higher and the objective at the lower part? Is it's okay? Make sure you are on time. Students, Astha, Kalash, Lopamudra, Shruti, Barsha. Is this clear? What is goal? What is objective? Now, please do make sure that you write in the comment section. I would get idea that you are getting the understanding of whatever I'm teaching. Okay. So now we would be moving to the next part of the planning. There is an, let me write it with the another pen, hierarchy. Of objective. This can be asked in exam. That's why I'm just helping you to understand. Hierarchy of objective. Here hierarchy means that when you are deciding the objective for the exam, okay, not exam, when you're deciding the objective for the organization, there are number of the things. Now understand this way, My department, my team may have the objective, my whole department may have the objective, organization as a whole may have the objective, right? So hierarchy of objective is moving into the proper hierarchy. Before that, hierarchy of the objective, let me write the hierarchy only. So this is like drawing this hierarchy this way. You remember it as it is. So individual, individual, this is the lowest. My individual objective would be lowest. Then unit, team, टीम के ऑब्जेक्टिव ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. देन फंक्शन मीन्स आई एम इन HR डिपार्टमेंट और मार्केटिंग, दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. देन corporate here means unit can be there or particular branch can be there. And finally mission. So this is your what? This is your hierarchy. Is this clear to you? Is this clear? Now ये हायरार्की आपको याद रखनी है ऑब्जेक्टिव की. ऑल्सो रिमेंबर दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव्स कैन बी क्वालिटेटिव एंड क्वांटिटेटिव. So now qualitative objectives are complex. So like qualitative is like providing the best services. This is my objective. So how would you define the best services? So now this is like very something intangible thing. So qualitative are complex. However, the quantitative are something very easily trackable, easily measurable. They are designed to satisfy the certainty. Quantitative is related to certainty, known things, measurable fact like 1,000 products selling and so on. Qualitative is related to uncertainty like providing best services. So the objectives can be qualitative and quantitative. Is this clear? You need to remember this sequence because this was your PYQ asked in December. ठीक है, ये पूछा गया था एग्जाम में. Now moving to your goals. This goals, ठीक है, this goals can be of different types. Now what are the different goals? So I will write here. There is also a hierarchy for the goals as well. Is it stucking in middle? I hope that's not stucking. So the first one is strategic. Second one is tactical or tactical goals. Then third one is your operational. ये भी एग्जाम में पूछा गया था, सीक्वेंस में लगाना था. स्ट्रैटेजिक, टैक्टिकल, ऑपरेशनल और इसके ऊपर में था आपका एक और दिया हुआ था ऑप्शन जिसे आपको नहीं, यही थे, ये तीनों थे. विजन या मिशन को ये टर्म दी गई थी जिसको आपको सीक्वेंस में लगाना था. नाउ स्ट्रैटेजिक कौन करेगा? दिस इज बाय टॉप मैनेजमेंट और हायर लेवल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. Tactical is done by middle level managers and operational is done by lower level managers or line managers. Now understand, strategic goals are related to strategy of organization, जो कि टॉप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डिसाइड करेगी कि मुझे स्ट्रैटेजिकली क्या करना है. नया प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च करना है, नया ब्रांच ओपन करना है. टैक्टिकल जो मिडिल मैनेजर है, जैसे अपर मोस्ट हाई लेवल मैनेजमेंट ने कहा वी आर गोइंग टू लॉन्च द न्यू प्रोडक्ट, we are going to launch the new product. So middle management will be making the goals that how this new product can be introduced in market, how the new product sales can be increased, how this new product can be made customer friendly. That is middle management. Operational would be how this product in day-to-day activities will be made a quality defined, how on daily basis how this product will be having a process of input and output. That is line manager. Is this clear to everyone? Now, please understand, operational goals are specific, measurable, since they are associated day to day. Day to day. Now, your tactical goals are the breakdown of strategic goals. जो strategic goals होते हैं उनको, वो जो मेन गोल होते हैं उनको मल्टीपल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करके वो मिडिल लेवल डिवाइड करता है डिपार्टमेंट वाइज. सो दैट इज ब्रेकडाउन ऑफ स्ट्रैटेजिक गोल्स. प्लीज राइट इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, इज दिस फाइन एंड इज दिस क्लियर टू एवरीवन? सो हमने क्या पढ़ा? हमने ये पढ़ा है, ठीक है, हाँ, हमने ये पढ़ा है कि प्लान जो है, प्लानिंग जब करते हैं उस प्लानिंग के अंदर में गोल्स और ऑब्जेक्टिव ये दो चीजें डिसाइड होते हैं. ठीक है, अब हम आते हैं कुछ कैरेक्टरिस्टिक पे जो कि प्लानिंग की कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है. गिव मी अ सेकेंड, लेट मी इंट्रोड्यूस न्यू स्लाइड. Fine. So now some characteristics of the planning which can be asked in exam. So you need to be aware of it. I'm so sorry for the writing because I'm writing on the pen tab, because using pen tab, because of which it gets very bad. Fine. So first is it's goal oriented. What it is? Goal oriented. Why? Because planning में goal बनाते हैं. It is something we are making to achieve the goals. It is looking ahead. Looking ahead is means future oriented. It involves mental activity. It is a deliberate process. You plan cognitively by thinking logically, and hence it is a mental activity. Planning is involving choice among various alternatives. See, to clear the exam, I can plan in different way. I can do self-study, I can go for coaching, I can have a proper offline coaching, online coaching, anything. So there are number of the plan, number of way of deciding the course of action. So it is making a choice. It is a primary function of the management, and hence it is called as primacy of planning. It's an continuous process. Why? See, once you make a plan, it doesn't mean it will be same. It will be running in same pattern, because market conditions keeps on changing. So planning need to be continuous and dynamic in nature, means changing. Planning is all pervasive because it is done at all level. Planning is designed to achieve efficiency. And the planning has to be flexible. It is an action oriented. Students, is this clear? These are the characteristics of your planning. Now, another important thing that we are going to study is classification of planning. How planning can be classified? What can be different types of the planning? So, the categories or the basis, I would say, the basis for planning can be different. Like your nature. What is the nature of your planning? Basis of the nature. Planning can be your formal in nature, and it can be informal in nature. My planning can be formal, my planning can be informal. Next, basis of duration. For how long you are planning? It can be short term, it can be long term. Then, basis of the levels of management who is doing a planning. This can be of three types: strategic, tactical, operational. And the last one is your frequency of use. How you are using, daily basis, once in a while. They can be standing. So ing, standing plans, and B is your single use. Single use plans. Now let me explain you this one by one. If you're writing down, noting it down, make sure you're writing the meaning for them. Okay. Now, as the name itself is saying, formal planning. Formal planning would be systematic, which is created deliberately by the organization. So now there is a team. The team is supposed to complete the project. In order to complete that project, they will be making a formal plans for different teams. That is formal planning. Formal planning will have proper rule, time being followed, process, and everything. Formal planning, the most important characteristic is it would be written in the written format. It should be carried out in a proper way, hierarchical way. So that is formal. Informal planning is like, so sometimes within the team which is created formally also, उनके कुछ इनफॉर्मल प्लान्स होते हैं, वो आपस में ही कुछ प्लान्स तैयार करते हैं. So these are non-written. They would be non-written, non-systematic. These plans formals are usually rigid. Rigid in the sense, उन्होंने डिसाइड कर दिया तो हमें अचीव करने हैं. ये फ्लेक्सिबल है, राइट. सो इनफॉर्मल, फॉर्मल प्लानिंग. शॉर्ट टर्म प्लानिंग होते हैं वो प्लान जो यूजुअली वैरी करते हैं 2 या 1 to 2 years या 2 to 3 years. That's it. So they focus on achieving short-term goals. They focus on achieving nearest goal rather than thinking about the future. Long-term are long, 5 to 10 years. Now, in short-term, tactical plan is your short-term goal. Long-term में strategical plan is your long-term. Now, what is strategic? Strategic planning, a planning which involves deciding what would be the organization strategy, what are the goals which would be achieved, what we are looking forward to become in next 10 years. That is what a strategic planning is, done by top level of management. It involves SWOT analysis, understanding strength, weakness, or opportunities and threat of the organization, scanning of the environment, increasing the productivity, gaining the competitive advantage. Overall objective of the organization is decided in strategic planning. So that is your strategic planning. Now, tactical planning is this strategic plannings, basis of this strategic planning, tactical planning decide what is going to happen. हम कैसे करने वाले हैं. This is done by middle level of the management. Tactical planning are intermediate range, means short range, ranging from 1 to 3 years. These plans are very specific because short term के हैं, specific हैं. उनको मेजरेबल रखा जाता है ताकि दे कैन बी अचीव। ऑपरेशनल आर डे टू डे प्लानिंग, डेली बेसिस पे क्या टारगेट्स होंगे, राइट, दैट इज ऑपरेशनल प्लानिंग। इट इज हाउ थिंग्स आर गोइंग टू हैपन, हाउ थिंग्स आर going to happen, that is the operational. Standing plans, the plans which are repetitively used, repeated, like your policy is repeated, rules are repeated, procedures are repeated, methods are repeated, goals can be repeated, that is standing plan. Single use plans, like your budget, only used once, so budget, program, they are used only once. Like your objective is not repeated, that is your single use plan. So single use plan are the one time used, they are used only for one time. Is this clear? The standing plans are also called as ongoing plans. These are also called as ongoing. Is this clear, students? Clear? I hope you are understanding. Now, let's move to the next part of the planning. Another part. Steps, जिसकी sequence आपको पता होना चाहिए. Steps या process of planning. I will write the steps by heart, those steps, because as it is asked in exam. So, how do you start the planning? So, for any planning, any kind of planning, first and foremost thing is deciding organizational objectives. What it is? Deciding organizational objectives. One more thing which was recently asked in the exam was perception of the opportunities. Now, I will write here establishing the objective. This is objective of organization. ठीक है, किसी भी चीज का प्लान करने से पहले मेरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्लियर होगा, तभी मैं उसी ऑब्जेक्टिव के हिसाब से ही प्लानिंग कर पाऊंगी ना, मुझे क्या अचीव कर रहा है. So this objective have to be quantitative, practicable, acceptable, achievable. Then deciding the planning premises. Now what do you mean by premises? See, मैंने जो प्लान बनाया है, in what conditions it would be taking place? Is it for emergency? Is it daily use? So planning the premises. See, कोई भी प्लान के लिए मुझे resources चाहिए होते हैं, मुझे material चाहिए होता है, मुझे human resource asset चाहिए होता है. So planning those premises. After that, determining alternatives I have to make my plan. मेरे पास कितने हैं, कैसे alternatives हैं, जो plan A, plan B, plan C. Evaluating all the alternatives. What is evaluation of alternative? कि मेरा जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है ना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का, उसको अचीव करने के लिए बेस्ट सूटेड अल्टरनेटिव क्या है. Then making a choice out of the alternative. Then sixth, now since you have selected that this is how I am going to, so now let's say you want to clear exam, UGC NET exam. You have multiple alternative of preparation, online, offline, self study. Out of that you decided to study online. Now in online also you have multiple educator. Out of multiple educator, whose you are going to select it. Now if suppose let's say you have decided online, now you are going to formulate the supporting plans. Supporting plans का मतलब होता है, so now let's say you are attending my classes. Are you only dependent on the classes? No. You have to do the self study, you have to do the MCQ. फिर आप पूछते हो मैम MCQ करवाओगे, PYQs करवाओगे, नहीं करवाएंगे तो कहाँ? Then establishing the sequence of activity, क्या पहले करना है, क्या नहीं करना है इस प्लान के अंदर में. And finally feedback, whether my plan worked properly or not, or you can call it as follow up. So this is the step that you need to know. Clear? Moving to the next. Students, is this clear? Clear? Next. Okay. Now, see, related to the planning, there is a term called as business forecasting. This is highly important. Exam में question आता है. अब ये business forecasting है क्या? So now, in planning, what you do? In planning, you decide the future course of action. So as in management or as an organization a whole, you do a business forecasting. Here business forecasting is in future, what all objectives I'm going to achieve, how I'm going to achieve, what would be my resources, what would be my product, how I'm going to fulfill the supply and demand for the product. So business forecasting. Planning involves business forecasting. Business forecasting can be defined as a process, tool, technique of deciding what development changes I have to bring in my business. So forecasting is nothing but identifying the development in business. Example, what would be my upcoming sales, what would be my expenditure, okay, when then how much profit I want to earn, what would be the product introduced, and so on. Now when you are forecasting, when you are deciding that this is what the sales I'm going to achieve, this is what would be the expenditure I have to face, or this is what the product I would be launching, there are two different methods of doing it. So quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative methods and your qualitative method. Quantitative methods are the method which deals with statistics, which are based on facts, figure, mathematical model, and so on. Qualitative is based on expert judgment, experience, and so on. Quantitative would have measurable factor. Qualitative would be dealing with intangible factor. In quantitative, the first one is time series. I will write all the forms, all the method, then I will explain them one by one. Another method is econometric model. Third one is indicator approach. Fourth one is extrapolitan. Extrapolitan approach, yes. ACH. Then we have regression, analysis. Then we have input and output analysis. क्वालिटेटिव में वी हैव मार्केट रिसर्च, सर्वे एंड ओपिनियन, डेल्फी मेथड, ये अभी एग्जाम में पूछा भी गया था, डेल्फी मेथड, हिस्टोरिकल एनालॉगी, and the fifth one is your sales force composite. Now इन जो मैंने ऑप्शंस लिखे हैं इसमें से टाइम सीरीज इज इंपॉर्टेंट, रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट, मार्केट रिसर्च, डेल्फी टेक्निक, सर्वे, यहां से क्वेश्चन पूछे जा चुके हैं। एंड यस इकोनोमेट्रिक, ठीक है, यहां से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं। सो यू नीड टू रिमेंबर व्हाट इज टाइम सीरीज मेथड. It is a method, since it is a quantitative, it is a method where on the basis of year past, time, recent time, last year, last 1 year, last 2 year. So last 1 year, what was my sales? Last 2 year, how much expenditure I made? Basis of this defined time series you are selecting, you will forecast your upcoming sales or expenditure. लास्ट ईयर मेरा सेल्स 50,000 का था, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर भी मैंने 55,000 50,000 ही करना है. सो गिवन टाइम पीरियड स्टैटिस्टिक यूज करेंगे. नाउ व्हाट इज इकोनोमेट्रिक मॉडल? इकोनोमेट्रिक मॉडल में इट यूजेस अ मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला. इट यूजेस अ मैथमेटिकल यू कैन से फॉर्मूला और मैथमेटिकल मॉडल भी कहते हैं, जिसके अंदर में अ मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूला यूज टू स्टडी द इकोनॉमी. अब इकोनॉमी क्या है? सी, विद इन द कंट्री और विद इन द बिजनेस, सेल्स, सप्लाई, डिमांड, कॉस्ट, प्रॉफिट, everything forms the economy. So as an individual, how do I demand the product? How do I invest in that product? How do I purchase the good? What is my desire? Everything is my economy. Similarly, in a country, economy involves demand and supply. Simple. So econometric refers using a mathematical model to understand the economy. What is happening in the economy? What is GDP right now? What is business trend right now? Understanding those consistency in the economy data set, and then making the future forecast. Indicator approach. Now what is indicator approach? You know, if in recession is increasing, if business is going down, unemployment will decrease. Unemployment will increase. Right or wrong? Yes or no? If business is down, unemployment will increase or decrease? Of course, it would be increasing. So, indicator approach is that for one factor of production, identifying the indicator. तो मेरे अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का लेवल इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज हो रहा है, इसके लिए इंडिकेटर क्या है? बिजनेस ग्रोथ, कंट्री की ग्रोथ, राइट? एक्स्ट्रापोलिटन मेथड. अब इस मेथड के अंदर में क्या होता है? एक्स्ट्रापोलिटन मेथड इज अगेन सिमिलर टू द टाइम सीरीज. क्या है ये? टाइम सीरीज जैसा ही है, बट इसके अंदर में एक्स्ट्रापोलिटन मेथड के अंदर में बिलीफ होती है कि जो चलता आ रहा है, समथिंग विच इज हैपनिंग will continue to happen. Something which is happening will continue to happen, and it ignores all other factors. जो हो रहा है वैसा ही होगा, कांस्टेंट रहेगा, स्टेबल पैटर्न होगा, ignoring every other factor. It's not considering the fluctuations, it's not considering the cyclical movement which may change, but it believes that something which is happening, assume something which is happening, वो हो रहा है और वही होगा. regression analysis. So now I have 10 products or 1000 products is made by 10 employees working for 8 hours. Regression analysis says that for producing this 1000 product, there are some independent factor and dependent factor. तो मेरा प्रोडक्शन कितना होगा ये मेरे एम्प्लॉइज की एफिशिएंसी पे डिपेंड करता है. अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस relationship between the independent and dependent factor is called regression analysis. Clear, students? What do you mean by regression analysis? There are two types of the factor, independent and dependent. Understanding the relationship between them is called as the regression analysis. कैसा रिलेशन है? इनवर्स है. तो मेरी अगर एफिशिएंसी इंक्रीज हो रही है तो प्रोडक्शन इंक्रीज होगा, एफिशिएंसी डिक्रीज हो गई है तो प्रोडक्शन डिक्रीज होगा. मुझे ज्यादा घंटे काम करवाना है तो ज्यादा पेमेंट करनी पड़ेगी. दिस अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस रिलेशनशिप इज रिग्रेशन एनालिसिस. अब हम आते हैं इनपुट आउटपुट. दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज एंड यूज टेक्निक. एंड यूज टेक्निक. Now what do you mean by end use technique? In this, a relationship is built between the different factors. So now in order to give any output, किसी भी एक तरीके का आउटपुट लेने के लिए या प्रोडक्शन के लिए मुझे डिफरेंट फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन चाहिए होते हैं. जैसे लेबर चाहिए होगा, कैपिटल चाहिए होगा एंड सो ऑन. सो इनके बीच का आउटपुट लेने के लिए मुझे किस तरीके का इनपुट चाहिए? क्या मुझे लेबर इंक्रीज करना है, मुझे कैपिटल इंक्रीज करना है? ये इंटर रिलेशनशिप को एक कोएफिशिएंट इन मैथमेटिकल टर्म्स में, मतलब एक मैथमेटिकल फॉर्मूले के थ्रू वो रिलेशनशिप को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं और मेथड को यूज करते हैं. मार्केट रिसर्च. मूविंग टू द क्वालिटेटिव मेथड. क्वालिटेटिव मेथड में, मार्केट रिसर्च में सर्वे एंड ओपिनियन इज नथिंग बट दी ऑलमोस्ट सेम. एक तरीके के क्वेश्चनर्स क्रिएट किए जाते हैं, सर्वे लिया जाता है, ओपिनियंस लिए जाते हैं, मार्केट रिसर्च किया जाता है कि अभी तक क्या हुआ था, कैसे प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च हुए थे, और उसी बेसिस पे फोरकास्ट होता है. डेल्फी टेक्निक में अ एक्सपर्ट्स पैनल who are located geographically away from each other, a questionnaire is sent to them. उस क्वेश्चनर के वो आंसर करके मैनेजर को भेजते हैं. मैनेजर उसका सेकंड क्वेश्चनर अगर वो सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है फिर से भेजेंगे एक्सपर्ट को, फिर एक्सपर्ट आंसर करेंगे, फिर मैनेजर भेजेंगे. दिस कीप्स ऑन रिपीटिंग until and unless both of them agree on what which is to be forecasted. दोनों जब तक एग्री नहीं करते हैं रिपीट होता रहेगा. हिस्टोरिकल एनालॉजी. अब हिस्टोरिकल एनालॉजी एक जजमेंटल टेक्निक है जहां पे एक्सपर्ट हिस्ट्री को एनालाइज करके अपनी एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पे जजमेंट्स देते हैं, डिसीजंस देते हैं. दैट इज हिस्टोरिकल एनालॉजी बेस्ड ऑन द पास्ट पैटर्न ऑफ द हिस्ट्री ऑफ द सेल्स फॉर प्रिडिक्टिंग द फ्यूचर. सेल्स फोर्स कंपोजिट का मतलब है कि एक क्वालिटेटिव मेथड जहां पे अ टीम who are specifically responsible for increasing the sales, this sales force is created and they give their future forecasting. Clear? So these were the different methods of forecasting. Students, is this clear? No one is answering me. Are you there? Is it getting bored? Or if you are not understanding, you're not replying, it means somewhere you're not understanding the things. So just let me know. See, this is taking lot much of efforts to write, to collect all the points and help you out to understand what is going to be asked in exam and not. ठीक है, आगे चलें. That was all about planning. Next function is decision making. Now, decision making is immediate step after the planning. So in planning, you plan. ठीक है, you plan. Now you have a plan, you made a plan. Now while you are executing the plan, you have to make up choices. So what is decision making? Herbert Simon has defined that management is nothing but a decision making. See, for any business, making the right decision is very important. So if I have to define कि डिसीजन मेकिंग होता क्या है, मेरे को इसको डेफिनेशन करना है, तो इट इज नथिंग बट अ सिंपल प्रोसेस ऑफ चूजिंग द बेस्ट आउट ऑफ गिवन अल्टरनेटिव्स. मेरे पास में बहुत सारे अल्टरनेटिव्स अवेलेबल हैं यूट्यूब पर पढ़ाई करने के लिए, लेकिन उन अल्टरनेटिव्स में से मेरे लिए बेस्ट क्या है, इसी को हम कहते हैं डिसीजन मेकिंग. इसी तरीके से बिजनेस में ग्रो करने के लिए बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस होते हैं. आई कैन इंट्रोड्यूस द न्यू प्रोडक्ट, आई कैन स्टार्ट द न्यू ब्रांच, आई कैन गो ऑफलाइन, आई कैन गो ऑनलाइन, बट what is best for my business, that is the decision making. The correct decision making will lead to the growth of the organization. So again, if I have to define this, it is a selection of course of action. Selection है, planning नहीं है. Selection of course of action among the given alternatives. ठीक है, ये दो चीजें आप इसके बारे में याद रखेंगे. मूविंग टू दी नेक्स्ट, जो एग्जाम में पूछा जाता है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट. अब सिंपल रैशनल इज लॉजिकल, रैशनल अप्रोच टू डिसीजन मेकिंग. सो रैशनल अप्रोच डिसीजन मेकिंग या स्टेप ऑफ डिसीजन मेकिंग हाईली इंपॉर्टेंट. सीक्वेंस में एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है. सो व्हेन आई एम मेकिंग एनी डिसीजन, आई हैव टू डिसाइड एनीथिंग रैशनली, लॉजिकली, बिफोर आई decide that what I have to select one as a rational thing, one out of many alternative. It involves a logical step by step process, and this logical step by step process is called as rational decision making model. First and foremost thing that you need to do is define the problem. क्या है, मुझे किससे रिलेटेड डिसीजन लेना है. देन आइडेंटिफाई द क्राइटेरिया या फिर डिसीजन क्राइटेरिया, बेसिकली डिसीजन क्राइटेरिया. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय डिसीजन क्राइटेरिया? नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, माय प्रॉब्लम इज which course to select for my preparation. This is my problem, this is my issue, or this is my first step. Now another step is that while selecting the course, what criteria need to be fulfilled. कि जो मल्टीपल मेरे पास में कोर्सेस अवेलेबल हैं, मेरा क्राइटेरिया है it should provide full course, complete detail, it should give me the notes, it should give me the MCQs to practice, it should give me the PYQs to the practice, it should provide me one-to-one help. This is the criteria. अब क्राइटेरिया के बाद में ये क्राइटेरिया को फुलफिल करने वाले भी 2-3 कोर्स हो सकते हैं. Allocate the weightage to the criteria, weights to the. So now तीसरा पॉइंट यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगी, allocate the weights. What does this mean? कि मेरे लिए क्या ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, फुल कोर्स कवर होना. दिस इज माय आउट ऑफ 100, कितना परसेंटेज में इसको वेटेज दे रही हूँ, 75%. नोट्स या लेट्स से 50%, 50% में से 40% इज माय नोट्स. ये दोनों चीजें मिल गई तो मेरा 90% कवर. ये दोनों मेरे 10, और लेट्स से दिस इज माय 5%, दिस इज माय 5%. ये मैंने वेटेज डाल दिया कि मेरे जो भी कोर्स अवेलेबल है, ये मेरी सिलेक्शन की क्राइटेरिया है, वेटेज है. then you develop योर अल्टरनेटिव्स। इस क्राइटेरिया के बेसिस पे आप देखोगे अब आपके पास में कौन से अल्टरनेटिव्स अवेलेबल हैं। अब डेवलप करने के बाद में इवैल्यूएट, जो भी आपके पास में अल्टरनेटिव अवेलेबल आ रहे हैं उनमें से कौन सा आपके क्राइटेरिया को फुलफिल कर रहा है, इवैल्यूएट इट एंड देन फाइनली सेलेक्ट द बेस्ट और मेक द चॉइस। Very important from the exam point of view. Clear? Students, is this clear? Okay. Done. Now, few terms which are associated with the decision making. Herbert Simon. Given bonded rationality. I explained you this in earlier class. So earlier video you are going to go and you are going to check administrative man. I'm not going to waste the time on this because it has been already explained to you previous videos. So bonded rationality is the limitation of an individual to make or analyze or maximize all the decisions available. This was given by whom? Herbert Simon. Bonded rationality आपको पता होना चाहिए decision making में, ठीक है? Another important. See, decision, this is rational approach. There is one intuitive approach. What is intuitive approach of decision making? Intuitive decision making. What is this? When you make a decision on the basis of your sixth sense, bolte na, on the basis of gut feeling, on the basis of your hunch, on the basis of your experience, कोई भी लॉजिकल नहीं होता. You don't use here logical. It is basis of your hunch, your sixth sense. That is intuitive decision making. This is what you need to know. Another thing, programmed and unprogrammed decision making. Sorry for the grammar spelling mistake. Programmed and unprogrammed decision making. What happened here in program? They are programmed. So when the decisions are taken for the routine, जब आप रूटीन काम जो डेली बेसिस पे करते हो, those decisions are called as program decisions. Program decisions are specific. Program decisions are usually repetitive. Program decisions are procedure rule. Programs decisions are done for certainty, जो certain है, हाँ ऐसा ही होगा. Program decisions are can be taken up by the lower level management, but unprogrammed decisions are taken for something which is uncertain in nature, not clear. आने वाले टाइम पे बिजनेस कैसे होगा, जीडीपी क्या होगा, when things are not clear, uncertain, such decisions are called as the non-programmed decision. Unprogrammed या non-programmed decisions are unique. They are highly uncertain. They are differing in every situation. Here, creativity is more important rather than repetitive thing. Usually, the top management do the non-programmed or unprogrammed decisions. Programmed decisions are structured. Unprogrammed decisions are unstructured. Clear? Is this clear to everyone? Chalo. We are finished with our decision making. Few things about one more, few definitions. Mechanistic decision. So now what do you mean by mechanistic decisions? The decisions which are as per rules, repetitive, routine. They are mechanistic, analytical. Analytical decisions are decisions which involves understanding number of variables, analyzing all the variables. ठीक है? This analytical decision involves a problem which involves large number of variables, large number of alternatives which need to be analyzed. That is analytical. Judgmental. Judgmental. Judgmental decisions are the decisions which are taken on the basis of experience. Why experience? The reason is the variable here are limited. ठीक है? Here are limited. Now one more thing, outcome in analytical decision is known. यहाँ पता होता है कि हम एनालिटिकली लॉजिकली जब मैं चीजों को करूंगी तो मुझे पता है रिजल्ट क्या आएगा. जजमेंटल डिसीजंस में outcome is unknown. It is unknown. Someone is raising the hand. Yes. See, I won't be, please go through the video again. Savi, if I keep on repeating the things again and again, it will take time. So please go through the recorded video. We have very limited time, so I am explaining this. Keep concentration. And if you don't understand, then see the video again. We have very limited time. Okay? So judgmental decision is where outcome is unknown, done on the basis of what? Done on the basis of your experience, judgments. Adaptive. Then you have adaptive decisions. Adaptive decisions are decisions which have large number of the variables, but again एनालिटिकल डिसीजन में लार्ज नंबर ऑफ वेरिएबल्स होते हैं और आउटकम नोन होता है. अडैप्टिव में भी लार्ज नंबर ऑफ वेरिएबल्स होते हैं बट आउटकम अननोन होता है. द रीजन इज यू आर अडैप्टिंग टू द सिचुएशन, कि कैसी सिचुएशन आएगी कुछ पता नहीं. सो दैट इज अडैप्टिंग. ठीक है? हियर इन मैकेनिस्टिक अल्टरनेटिव्स आर नोन, वेरिएबल्स आर नोन, तो रिजल्ट इज नोन. There are 3 phases in decision making. One is your identification of the problem, where you make an identification. Second phases की बात हो रही है, development of the plan or development of the decisions, and the third alternative basically, and the selection. ये phases भी याद रखेंगे आप. ठीक है? चलो. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear? Identification, development and selection, 3 phases. चलो. Now, another very important, जहां से question exam में आता है. Bias. बायसनेस का मतलब होता है किसी भी तरीके का हिंड्रेंस या रुकावट. ठीक है? या नेगेटिव थिंग जो मेरे डिसीजन को सही आने से रोकता है या मुझे सही डिसीजंस लेने में बाधा करता है, उसे हम कहते हैं बायसनेस. पहला है ह्यूरिस्टिक. ह्यूरिस्टिक डिसीजन बायसनेस इज यूजिंग थंब रूल, trial and error. When you try to make a decision on trial and error basis, कि try करते जाएंगे, फिर गलती होगी तो फिर से करेंगे, that is trial and error. Overconfidence bias. Now what do you mean by overconfidence bias? Here the decision maker think that they know everything and they are overconfident about their own decision. They keep or they start making unrealistic positive view about their own decision. This is overconfidence. कभी कभार होता है मुझे तो सब आता है, मुझे तो सब आता है, लेकिन पेपर में कुछ और ही आ गया. So that is your overcome biasness, overconfidence biasness, overconfidence. Then cognitive bias. Now what do you mean by cognitive bias? See, normally we do a logical judgment, but when we make a decision irrationally, subjectively, ठीक है, बिना लॉजिक के, सब्जेक्टिवली, बिना लॉजिक के, बिना थिंकिंग के, व्हेन आई सब्जेक्टिवली अपने लिमिटेड इंफॉर्मेशन या लिमिटेड राइट नाउ जो कंडीशन है उसी के बेसिस पे जब मैं डिसीजन लेती हूं, दैट इज कॉग्निटिव बायस. ठीक है. नाउ another very important, anchoring effect. Anchoring effect is when you make a decision on the basis of the initial information provided and you completely ignore the rest information. यानी बोलते हैं कि मुझे कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन, आपको पैसेज आता है, राइट, यू हैव अ रीडिंग कंप्रिहेंशन, सो यू कीप ऑन आंसरिंग the questions without reading the complete passage. So question आया, question में जो the word आ रहा है उसको passage में ढूंढा और आंसर कर दिया. This is anchoring effect because you're not using, you are just using a first set of information कि ये दोनों मैच हो रहे हैं, ये मेरा first set of information है, बाकी क्या लिखा है, क्या वो relative है कि नहीं है. This is called as anchoring effect. Fifth, selective perception bias. What is perception? Selective perception bias. When I have my own perception for something, like you make a perception, the people belonging to this areas are this, वो ऐसे ही होंगे. The people coming from that college would be this, वो ऐसे ही होंगे. You are attending someone's class or someone's lecture and you always have a mind, something in your mind that she is going to give wrong information or she is not going to cover the complete units. So that is your own selective. So biasness, where you are using your own perception to make the decision, is your selective perception bias. Then confirmation bias. What is confirmation bias? You make a decision on the basis of कि ऐसी ही situation पहले थी, same situation अभी है, तो पहले जो मैंने decision लिया था वही मैं ये decision लूंगी. So confirmation biasness is reaffirming the old choices. जो मैंने पहले किया था वही करना है. That is confirmation biasness. Clear? Seventh, self-serving bias. What is self-serving bias? When you are successful, you take all credit. When you fail, you blame the outside factors for the failure. That is self-serving. Randomness bias. When you are making a decision on some random, like just like आप लूडो खेल रहे, so while playing the ludo you say next 3 आएगा, 3 आ जाता है, then again you are saying next 2 आएगा. So that is randomness. Every time it's not, every time not important that it would be correct. ठीक है. Then 9, hindsight bias. What is hindsight bias? I knew all, मुझे तो सब पता है. A decision maker falsely believe that he can accurately predict the future. मुझे तो पता है ये होने वाला है, मुझे तो पता है ये ऐसा होगा ही, ऐसा होना ही था या ऐसा ही होगा. That is your hindsight bias. Clear? Everyone understood? Done? Now we will close this session for the day. Tomorrow rest of the functions we will be completing. Is this clear? Any doubt, any question, you can ask me. Yes, every day 10:30. Savi. Yes, Savi, you have raised your hand. Your voice is not audible, Savi. Can you speak? Cognitive bias is, see, when I have a subjective perception, you're not making an objective, you're not doing a logical. That is the cognitive bias. कलश ऑब्जेक्टिवली नहीं करते हो आप, सब्जेक्टिवली, मेरी थिंकिंग इतनी ही है, मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा है, दैट इज कॉग्निटिव. ठीक है. सो आई एम एंडिंग दिस सेशन. वी वुड बी मीटिंग इन टुमारोज क्लास.